I just finished cleaning the room for the week. I dusted under the bed, which is really hard. That's a pregnancy pillow. I dusted under the bed, which is really hard because that's a very narrow space. But I got the vacuum underneath there and was able to mop underneath there. So doing pretty good. I still am trying to tackle the mold problem. Most of it's been gotten, but like you can see in the edges right there, there's mold and mold and mold. And I've realized what's causing it, I'm pretty sure, is the screens. I don't know how, it's just like the sun can't get to it, I think. But this window I feel better about. But this window, oh man, it's got mold and I don't know how to get to it without taking the screens off, so I gotta try and figure that out. But underneath there, it's got mold, and then if we lift up here, it's trapped. That looks like a lot of dust, honestly, but I think that's a bit of mold as well. So yeah, mold's definitely very dangerous, very, very dangerous. And we do want to get rid of that. Yeah, just gonna do a little homemaking today. I gotta get these seedlings, well, they're not seedlings yet really. I need to get these seeds out into the sunroom, which is a bit of a mess right now. And then get these out as well, which a friend gave us his seedlings, which is very kind. As well as I was going to make sourdough bread today, but my starter didn't rise, I think because it was too cold last night. So I have some sourdough discard. And I think I'm going to make more sourdough spelt crackers with those. I made some last night, and I didn't make very many because I couldn't roll them out, so they're quite thick. I don't have a rolling pin yet, but they're really good actually. They're so good and very simple. And so I think I'm gonna make some more with the discard. And in the meanwhile, there's the suspect sourdough. That's sourdough starter that is hopefully gonna rise. Still trying to figure it all out. Using 100% whole wheat spelt's a little difficult. I might start to add in a little white spelt to the sourdough. And then I have a sewing project, I don't know if I'll get to it today, that I want to work on. I want to start an Etsy page and start sewing. I got these vintage, baby clothes patterns from the thrift store. And I want to start sewing them. And then, it's kind of like, what's the word? Like reconstructed vintage baby clothes. There's other things today I needed to do. Oh yes, I need to actually do that first. I need to cut the potatoes because we're going to try and plant them today. So I think that'll be our first task. Okay, so apparently our farmer friend George said that each piece has to just have 2 eyes. Is that mold? want to put a moldy potato in the garden. I have to look this up. The little like spuds, the little eyes are getting this fuzziness, and it's purple as well. Potatoes do not last. Or at least store-bought potatoes. All these potatoes are covered in, the eyes are covered in white fuzz and purple. And I looked it up, and that's, I guess, indicative of blight or mold, and they should not be eaten. Therefore, I don't want to put them in the garden and try and use them as, seed. And these ones we got from Walmart, and they're all covered in mold as well. So it's rough. Our farmer friend said when he grows them at home, he lets them dry out, and then he puts them in the fridge in the crisper, and they last a year. But you buy these potatoes from the store, and I think he was saying it's because they're old potatoes. They go bad so quickly. But they'll go in the compost, so it won't be a complete waste. The more we feed the compost, I get more excited about how rich it's going to be. So yeah, unfortunate, but we'll just have to buy potatoes and plant those. But yeah, it does not look right. Here I have our pillows without the case sitting in the sun. I was reading that putting pillows in the sun by themselves is a really good way to, if there's any mold inside or anything like that, to kill it. So wet. I don't think this wrung out at all. Oh my goodness, that is heavy. I thought it was alive, but it's dead actually. Those wings. And then right next to it, beautiful flower. And these little purple flowers are coming in all over the yard. Spring's here. You guys might remember when we recorded the compost video. These trees were barren. But pretty soon we won't be able to use this as a clothing line anymore. The leaves will block all the sun. It's so beautiful, those springs here. And pretty soon I'll show you guys the garden over here. These are like dripping wet. going through it, picking up some rocks. So hopefully I get to that soon. Okay, so had some lunch, a lunch break. I have some lentils slow cooking on the stove that I'll just put in a Tupperware for tomorrow for breakfast maybe. And I'm gonna make those some more sourdough crackers. So. High-speed blender to blend the spelt berries because we don't have a grinder, but hopefully at some point we get one, but it's not such a necessity right now. Eventually I want to sell sourdough once I can figure out how to do it better. And so then it would be more necessary, but for now this works well enough. Samuel's stepdad has these for mowing the lawn, and I put them in before blending because blending the spelt berries is so loud and my hearing is hurting not so good from years of listening to music with headphones. So I put these in so that I'll be able to take care of my kids better when they come. I'll be doing any more blending today, so I'll put those away. They really are helpful. I recommend. Alright, this is where I've been keeping flour, but I knew that when you do freshly ground whole wheat, flour, especially I think with the ancient grains, that it's best to grind it and use it immediately because it loses nutrients or something. I've not been so good about this. I like prepping, so I keep prepping flour and filling this usually about 3/4. But I think I'm gonna try not to do that anymore unless I know the next day I'm making sourdough or something like that because I don't want it to lose that nutritional value. But I'm gonna make sourdough tomorrow by hopefully if my sourdough starter will rise in this colder weather. So I'm gonna store it for now. We like to use Celtic sea salt, and it's cheaper if you buy it coarse. This was only, I think, I want to say between $7 and $9, but if you wanted to buy the finely ground, it was like $18. It's ridiculous. So we buy the coarse, and before I drink a cup of water, I let one of the pieces just kind of sink in on my tongue, and I've noticed that really helps me not run to the bathroom after I drink the amount of water that we're supposed to. It helps your body absorb the water, and Celtic sea salt is supposed to have tons of minerals in it, so it's supposed to be a lot better for you than normal salt. anybody has any recipe ideas for crackers, sourdough crackers, where you don't use oil, I could just experiment with it too. I think it would be fine not using oil, but I don't like to use oil when I bake or when I cook. I like to add it in at the end. Just because, and here's my sourdough discard, just because I know that oil can become a carcinogen when it's heated up, but olive oil, you know, and coconut oil, those things are so good in their kind of raw state, so. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to the recipe just because I don't know if I had I don't think I had even close to a full cup of sourdough starter actually, which is what this calls for. So when I did this last time, I kneaded it a little bit and then I flattened it and cooked it right away, but I actually want to let this sit for just a little bit to let the sourdough actually do something with the flour. I feel like if you put it in a recipe, I don't know if this is true, this is just, I haven't looked it up, but I feel like if I just put it in a recipe and cook it, I don't feel like the sourdough actually has a chance to do much with the flour, but that might not be right. I need to look into that, so. I'm gonna just cover that up and let it sit for just a little bit. A quick view into my sauerkraut. I've never made homemade sauerkraut before, and this is day 4. I'm really scared to try because I know like weird bacteria things can happen, and it's also, if you can see, yellow and then green here, and I made sure that the top was covered in liquid, but it's now like, I think because of the foamy, like the bubbles, it's making it like push up so that it's not covered. So I hope that this is safe to eat. I hope Samuel won't mind taste testing it just because I have a baby. So we're gonna see, but they recommend waiting till day 9, but you can start tasting it, you know, day 2 to 3, I think he said. So yeah. I just check on that every day and let the gas out that is formed from the bacteria. It smells sour now though, it didn't before. I don't have a rolling pin, so I have to do this by hand. Oh, something I could do. Okay, I should have done this last time. That was a great trick because these crackers are so thick. They're very good. This is them, you know, a day old. They're very good, but they're very thick. Okay, they're pretty hot right now, but let's taste test one. I get a little impatient sometimes. Right now it's not gonna have much of a snap because they're so warm. And these ones are definitely much thinner than the other ones I made. That's good. Very basic. I just did salt, olive oil, parsley, and chive. But I want to experiment with seeds and things like that. But for a good, you know, sourdough cracker, that's good. A little more sour this time, I think, because I let it sit. for about half an hour to an hour.
How do we do this, Simon? That's a rock. That file's a little too far.
Big chunks of sod like that. Sod and rocks. All that sod can go in the compost, so it'll be great. Ah, my eyes!
Me too.
The dust from your
Close your eyes.
There's a rock. This is amazing. When I did it in Maine, literally, all these clay pieces would have been rocks and more. It was just literally all rocks.